Friends, I just pressed the let's go live button, so let's wait for the stream to fire up all across the fruited plain of the internet. Before we go ahead and wrap it up on this lovely, lovely Friday, we got to make sure the tubes are working before we start rambling off at the mouth. And it looks like they are, which is tremendous news. That means we can go ahead and get started. So let's do it, shall we? Hello, my friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of Watching the Watchers Live, the show that spotlights misconduct involving police, prosecutors, and politicians. My name is Robert Gouveia. I am a criminal defense attorney, and today we are talking about Jack Smith, and he is objecting. He says, "Objection, Your Honor. I don't want you to recuse yourself. I think you're outstanding. You're the best. You're fabulous, Judge Chutkan. You look outstanding today. I love what you're wearing. Don't go anywhere because you are helping us obliterate our political opponents." And we've covered this before. I think last week, maybe we had some read through, maybe earlier this week. I don't know. Time's flying. Donald Trump submitted a motion for recusal going directly to Judge Chutkan, the judge presiding over the January 6th prosecution brought by Jack Smith. And it was a short filing, really, 9 pages, not that long. And most of the filing actually included Judge Chutkan's own statements from her other sentencings with other January 6 defendants, where she was scolding them. You almost insurrected America because of Trump. So 9 pages, a lot of Chutkan's own words. And then the government filed a response to this that's 20 pages. Okay, like they're blowing a gasket on this one. The roof come off for their house. Molly was on her keyboard just blowing out the gaskets there. But 20 pages in response, and they're actively like advocating for the judge, right? Rather than the DOJ just saying, well, Your Honor, we think that you're perfectly capable. We have no further comment on it, right? And just make your own decision, Your Honor. We think that you can do whatever you want. We don't have a position on this at one way or the other. They could have gone that route. They didn't. It's 20 pages of Molly Gaston over from the DOJ explaining how Judge Chutkan is amazing. And we'll see if she highlighted that motion up or if there's any additional sticky notes in there. All in the first segment. Then we're going to talk about this letter that Hunter Biden's lawyers sent. Whew. And so we know earlier this week that Hunter got indicted, so-called, and this was apparently a big catastrophe for the DOJ. I think it's kind of a cover-up, and we'll see where it goes. But it is for a charge that is very minor relative to the criminal offenses that Hunter Biden has been actually involved in. And there's a whole book about him up there if you missed it. MarcoPoloUSA.org. They're being sued by this lunatic. And so check them out. But Hunter and his lawyers now are responding to Congress, and they sent a letter over to them calling them all sorts of bad things, saying you're manipulating the justice process. And by investigating how the executive branch, meaning Hunter Biden's daddy's government, why they are corrupt, you're interfering with justice. So we'll go through the full letter from Hunter's lawyers over to Congress. The whistleblowers and their lawyers did respond to this, so we'll see what they say about it. The Oversight Committee also issued a statement in response to Hunter's lawyers and their very aggressive statement. Ken Buck had a comment about this. He's really making no sense. He's having a difficult time, I think, connecting the dots here. We'll see if we can help. We've got the White House with some comments about this. Not only is Karine out there, but we've also got some Psaki to clarify what they're thinking on their side of the aisle. Biden didn't take any questions about this, but he did have a speech talking about the union auto workers. And so we'll see what their reaction is to the Hunter Biden news. But there was this new clip that came out from Newsmax, and shout out to Greg Kelly over there, I think is the one who broke this. And he found this clip of the old Biden bagman shuffle. See this happening here? What we're watching right now on your screen, that's Joe Biden talking with this woman. And this guy wants to have a deal with Hunty Poo. And so they do the old bagman shuffle, and they just maneuver themselves one step over so that they can conduct their nefarious business deals. You see how that happened? So we're going to go through that in detail. And it's a very curious exchange because they're actually about to do business with each other. And Joe Biden is standing right there. Very curious. Curious indeed. Now, we'll go through that all in the second segment. And then lastly, we've got this story about this GOP lawyer. This guy is actually working, reporting says, to help remove Donald Trump from the ballots in 2024. And so we've been talking about the Democrats and their attempts to do this, with pencil neck Schiff and others saying that it's appropriate to just have this newly discovered self-executing clause in the 14th Amendment that suddenly applies to Donald Trump because he's an insurrectionist. And Congress has already made their findings. And this is a real legitimate attack. They are already launching lawsuits all over the country. And apparently, a GOP lawyer, this guy by the name of Jason Torchinsky, is going to be involved on the investigation. Or there's something going on with him about this. So we'll see what is happening here. Now, my switcher is not, the picture-in-picture is not working all of a sudden. What's happening here? My switcher's broken. Okay, 1 second. It was literally just working, wasn't it working? And now it's frozen. All right. Let me see if I can reset it while we're here. Okay, 1 second. We're doing a restore. It's going to go dark in a minute. Yikes. Okay. It is not working. Okay, here's what I think the plan is. I have to